This is Camilla Gamut, accused of murdering her boyfriend. Said the attack was the result of an argument between two people. She was charged with first-degree murder for violently stabbing her boyfriend. Everyone claimed that her murder was in self-defense and that he was her boyfriend, but in the end she was found guilty of murder. Now we move to the point where the judge interrupts the community and pronounces the sentence.
But you were relentless. You stabbed, you stabbed, you stabbed, you stabbed, you stabbed until he was dead. I agree with the family. I hope you die in prison as well. You know, and if this was a death penalty state, you'd be getting the chair.
And Camilla sentenced him to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. This is Anthony Kirkland, a convicted serial killer in Ohio. Kirkland previously served 16 years for the murder of his girlfriend. A few years after his release, he went on a 3-year killing spree. He killed 4 women, 2 of whom were teenagers. After Kirkland's last murder, he was caught with one of his victims' watches, an iPod, and was arrested. This made him a suspect, and the police were able to frame Kirkland for all the murders. Now the verdict is in court and Kirkland faces the death penalty.
Indictment, count 1, attempted rape with specifications. Count 2, aggravated murder with specifications. Count 3, aggravated robbery with specifications. Count 4, aggravated murder.
Everybody stay seated, please.
Kirkland was later found guilty of all charges and sentenced to death and awaited execution in Chillicothe Prison. This is Kai Andrea Cook. Cook, 18, Andrea, who pleaded guilty to car theft charges in Volusia County, Florida, met her then 17-year-old boyfriend on a dating app. They fled the scene after the boyfriend shot the victim with his gun during a carjacking, and the pair are said to have reunited 2 days later for another carjacking. But they were arrested, and now Cook is in front of a judge.
Indicates you guilty of all 3 charges, sentence you to 20 years in state prison.
It is known that this emotional moment was caused by miscommunication between Cook and his mother's public defender, so he would not have faced any jail time. Cook's sentence was later reduced to 11 years. This is Damon Kemp. Police say the bodies were found 14 hours after neighbors heard the gunshots, and Kemp allegedly confessed to the murders, saying he was at the camp that day. Kemp confessed to the murders during the trial, saying he stayed in the room with his 2 dead friends and was then wheeled into court in a wheelchair.
God!
Kemp's actions made the hearing so difficult that Kemp and the others had to be escorted out. Kemp is currently in the Volusia County Jail awaiting trial. This is Franklin Williams. Multiple convictions for armed robbery and fleeing police in Cleveland, Ohio.
Saying freedom of speech, no duct tape. Your Honor, I asked today, Your Honor, that I received the lightest sentence that you could give me.
After Williams committed 3 armed robberies, the cops chased after him, and he was later caught and arrested and is now serving his sentence. Williams did not stop talking despite further explanation, and the judge ordered that Williams' mouth be taped shut because he continued despite multiple warnings from the judge.
Freedom of speech, no duct tape. With the hashtag.
And the judge announces Williams' sentence.
While you face the potential maximum consecutive sentence of 134 years, I ordered a 24-year sentence.
Williams was sentenced to 24 years in prison. Then the judge apologized, duct-taped, and threw out the sentence. A new judge was then appointed and sentenced him to 33 years in prison. This is Leonid Grazer. Leonid is on trial for the murder of his wife. His sister said that Grazer was kept in a glass box because of the dangerous crime he was a part of. But the box couldn't keep him out of there. Security tried to calm him down, but he was determined to escape. Somehow, he got on top of the box and tried to escape. Security called for backup and used a stun gun on him. Grazer was eventually caught and sentenced to mandatory psychiatric treatment. This is Kimberly Kessler, accused of murdering a co-worker in Nassau County.
Jordan Beard is Jolene Cummings' cousin.
Accused of murdering a co-worker in Nassau County. The current footage shows Kessler after his arrest and while awaiting trial.
To get rid of the public defender's office. Yeah, exactly. Jordan Beard is Johnson's nephew. Jordan Beard is Jolie's cousin.
And Kessler has repeatedly made false allegations against the former public defender.
Jordan Beard, Jolene Cummings' cousin. Jordan Beard is Jolene Cummings' cousin. Jordan Beard is Jolie's cousin.
Kessler was found guilty of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison without parole.